Hello, my friends. Today I'm here to read you a story. This story is called A Visitor for Bear. It's written by Bonnie Becker. She's the author that wrote all the words of the story. It's illustrated by Katie McDonald Denton, and that means that she drew all the pictures in the story. If I look at my cover, I see two characters. I see a bear and a mouse. I wonder what's going to happen for them for the story. Let's find out. No one had ever come to Bear's house. It had always been that way, and Bear was quite sure he didn't like visitors. He even had a sign. The sign here says, "No visitors allowed." One morning, Bear heard a tap, tap, tapping on his front door. I wonder who's there. When he opened the door, there was a mouse, small and gray and bright-eyed. "No visitors allowed," Bear said, pointing to the sign. "Go away." He closed the door and went back to the business of making his breakfast. I wonder what he's eating for breakfast. He set out 1 cup and 1 spoon. But when he opened the cupboard to get 1 bowl, who do you think's going to be in the cupboard when he goes to get a bowl? There was the mouse, small and gray and bright-eyed. You look right here, you can see the mouse in the cupboard. Do you think he was surprised? His face looks surprised to me. "I told you to leave," cried Bear. "Perhaps we could have just a spot of tea," said the mouse. "Out," commanded Bear. "Most sorry," said the mouse. "I'll be going now." Bear showed him to the door and shut it firmly. There's Bear carrying the mouse right out the door. Then he went back to the business of making his breakfast. But when he opened the bread drawer for 1 slice of bread, who do you think is going to be there? There was the mouse, small and gray and bright-eyed. There's the mouse right there. He looks a little bit angry. Bear looks angry to me, and the mouse looks a little bit scared. "Unbelievable," rumbled Bear. "Away with you, vamoose!" "I do like a bit of cheese," said the mouse. Bear pointed a rigid claw towards the door. "Yes, then, here I go," said the mouse. "Farewell." And the mouse whisked out the door. There's the mouse going right out the door. This time, Bear shut the door very firmly and locked it tight. He locked the windows, too, for good measure. So it looks like Bear's trying to keep the mouse from coming back. Do you think it's going to work? Then, once again, he went back to the business of making his breakfast. But when he opened the fridge to get 1 egg, there was the mouse, small and gray and bright-eyed, of course. "Be gone," roared Bear. "A crackling fire?" ventured the mouse. "This is impossible, intolerable, and insufferable," cried Bear, shaking with anger and disbelief. "Terribly sorry," murmured the mouse. "Now you see me, now you don't. I'm gone." And the mouse looked very sorry indeed while he waited for Bear to unbolt the door and let him out yet again. How do you think the mouse is feeling that Bear keeps making him leave? I think he might feel a little bit sad. This time, before he went back to the business of making his breakfast, Bear shut the door very, very firmly and locked it. He boarded the windows shut. There's him with the hammer down there boarding the windows. Stopped up the chimney and even plugged the drain in the bathtub. Do you think Mouse is still going to get in? Let's find out. Carefully, Bear set about the business of making his breakfast. He opened the cupboard. No mouse. Phew. He opened the bread drawer. Nothing. Whew. He opened the fridge. Mouse free. Yes, indeed. He lifted the lid to the tea kettle. Do you think the mouse will be in the tea kettle? There was the mouse, small and gray, and well, you know the rest. There's the mouse there in the tea kettle. Bear fell to the floor and wept. "I give up," he blubbered. "You win. I'm undone." And there's Bear crying. "So sorry," said the mouse, "but perhaps if I could have just a bit of cheese and a cup of tea. And do you think we could unstop the chimney and have a nice fire?" Bear blew his nose with a loud honk. But then you must go, he sniffled. No visitors allowed. You have my word, said the mouse. Bear unshuttered and unboarded the windows, unlocked the door, unstopped the chimney, and unplugged the drain to the bathtub. He brought out 2 plates of cheese and 2 teacups, and he made a crackling fire in the fireplace for 2 sets of toes. The mouse warmed his feet and nibbled and sipped, and Bear did too. They sat for a long while. The clock in Bear's house ticked loudly. Look, here's the mouse drinking his tiny tea and eating his tiny cheese. Look, there's Bear's big cup and big slice of cheese on the table. Bear cleared his throat. The mouse looked most attentive. No one had ever been most attentive to Bear. The fire is nice, Bear announced. Lovely, said the mouse. No one had ever said Bear's fires were lovely. I can do a headstand, said Bear. Very impressive, said the mouse. So Bear's happy that the mouse is being nice to him. Bear told a joke. The mouse laughed heartily. No one had ever laughed at Bear's jokes before. Bear began to think of another joke. The mouse set down his teacup. Bear quickly lifted the teapot. There's plenty more, he said. So sorry, said the mouse, most kind, but I must be on my way. Really, you don't have to go, said Bear. I am off, said the mouse, springing up from his chair. Wait, cried Bear. But the mouse stepped out the door. Toodaloo, said the mouse. How do you think Bear's feeling? It seems like he's a little sad to have a nice mouse leave. Don't go, wailed Bear, throwing his body across the path. But I gave you my word, said the mouse, pointing at the sign. No visitors. Here, there's the sign up there. Oh, that, cried Bear, pulling down the sign and tearing it up. That's for salesmen, not for friends. Not for friends, asked the mouse. Small and gray and bright-eyed. Bear nodded. The mouse's bright eyes glowed brighter, and Bear smiled. Do you like 1 lump of sugar or 2, said Bear most politely. I like 2, said the mouse, and Bear agreed. And Bear and Mouse became friends. I love that story because it shows you how you can become friends with anybody, even the most unlikely people. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed our story. Bye!